Chris Watts was born on May 17, 1985, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. His full name was Christopher Lee Watts. He grew up in a quiet, working-class household. His father, Ronnie Watts, was a mechanic. His mother, Cindy Watts, was strict, protective, and emotionally controlling. Chris also had a younger sister named Jamie. From a young age, Chris learned to obey. He learned to suppress emotions. He learned that conflict was dangerous. Teachers described him as polite and well-mannered. Classmates described him as shy and emotionally distant. He rarely expressed anger. He rarely disagreed. He rarely said no. From a young age, Chris learned to obey and suppress emotions. Psychologists later explained that Chris developed a people-pleasing personality combined with emotional repression. He did not process his feelings. He buried them, and this would later influence the decisions he made in life. During his teenage years, Chris struggled socially. He had few close friends. He had almost no romantic experience. There were no arrests, no violence, no warning signs. After high school, Chris worked as a mechanic at a Ford dealership. He was reliable, quiet, and trustworthy. He appeared to be a man who would live an ordinary, harmless life. Everything changed when he met Shanann Watts. Chris met Shanann online around 2010. Shanann was confident, outspoken, emotional, and ambitious. She was the opposite of Chris. Where Chris stayed silent, Shanann spoke openly. Where Chris followed, Shanann led. They married on November 3, 2012. But from the beginning, there was tension. Chris's mother, Cindy, strongly disliked Shanann. She believed Shanann controlled Chris and manipulated him. Chris never defended his wife. He never confronted his parents. He chose silence, and this silence would become the foundation of his later actions. The couple moved to Colorado and began a family. Their first daughter, Bella, was born in December 2013. Their second daughter, Celeste, known as Cece, was born in July 2015. Chris appeared to be a devoted father. He fed the girls, he bathed them, he played with them, but emotionally, he was absent. Shanann documented their life on social media. Videos of Chris smiling, photos of family trips, posts showing happiness. But these images hid the reality. The family was drowning in debt. They lived beyond their means. Credit card bills piled up. They had already filed for bankruptcy. For a man like Chris, who avoided confrontation and failure, this pressure was crushing. But he said nothing. Instead of expressing fear or frustration, he swallowed it. Over time, resentment grew. In 2017, Chris began exercising obsessively. He lost a significant amount of weight. He gained confidence. For the first time in his life, he felt attractive, powerful, and in control. This change was not only physical, it was psychological. In 2018, Chris began working at Anadarko Petroleum. This job gave him independence and introduced him to Nicole Kessinger. Nicole was a co-worker, independent, carefree, and she did not want children. Chris began an affair with her in June 2018. With Nicole, Chris felt alive, desired, and unburdened. He lied to her, telling her his marriage was over. At the same time, Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with their third child, a baby boy they planned to name Niko. This pregnancy intensified Chris's internal conflict. He now faced a future he didn't want. More responsibility, more debt, more emotional pressure. Instead of choosing divorce, Chris began to fantasize about escape. Psychologists identify this pattern as family annihilation. A family annihilator kills not out of rage, but out of perceived control and escape. Chris did not want to be the villain. Divorce would make him responsible. Confrontation terrified him. Murder, in his twisted logic, erased the problem. On the night of August 12, 2018, Shanann returned home from a business trip. She was exhausted and went to bed. In the early hours of August 13th, Chris made his decision. He strangled Shanann in their bed. She fought briefly. She was pregnant. She was defenseless. After killing his wife, he turned to his daughters. He smothered Bella and Cece. Later, he admitted the girls woke up. Instead of stopping, he killed them again. Bella begged him, saying, "Daddy, no." This moment shows that the murders were deliberate and planned. After killing his wife and daughters, Chris loaded the bodies into his truck and drove nearly 1 hour to an oil site where he worked. There, he buried Shanann and her unborn baby in a shallow grave and placed Bella and Cece into separate oil tanks. After this, he returned to his daily routine as if nothing had happened. Later that day, Shanann's friends became concerned when she could not be reached. Police were called. Chris acted calm, confused, and cooperative. He even appeared on television asking for his family's return. But investigators noticed something wrong. No panic, no urgency, no genuine emotion. Chris failed a polygraph test. Under pressure, he confessed. In November 2018, Chris Watts pleaded guilty to all charges. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus additional years. He will never be free again. In prison, Chris later gave a more detailed confession. He admitted planning the murders. He admitted that the children begged. He showed chilling emotional detachment. Even today, Chris receives letters from people who defend him. Meanwhile, Shanann's family continues to fight misinformation and honor the victims. This case shocked the world because Chris Watts did not look like a monster. He looked normal, quiet, and ordinary. That's the terrifying part. Sometimes evil doesn't scream. Sometimes it smiles. Chris Watts' story teaches lessons about warning signs, emotional repression, and the hidden dangers that can exist behind the perfect family image. It reminds us that appearances are not always reality. It reminds us to pay attention to the people around us, because even ordinary people can commit unimaginable crimes. Rest in peace, Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Niko.